Hello, it's Noir Nerd, and today I wanted to do a quick tutorial showing how to do a basic pathing script for PlayCanvas using PlayCanvas scripting. Um, Basically, how you create a path so that a camera paths along a certain path, and this can be useful for creating basically sort of like film scenes in a project. So I'm going to first demonstrate the what can be achieved by doing this using this script by showing you the introductory sequence to a game I'm working on called Nexus Necronomicon. More information of which you can find in the playlist, which I'll link below. Okay, so this I'll click play and I'll show you basically what I'm talking about. By the way, this is a new loading screen for Nexus Necronomicon. Just did that the other day. It's a project that's ongoing and should be quite interesting. Okay, so that was a sort of demonstration of that was a demonstration of how the script can function, and obviously there's a little bug at the end. I'm still fixing the dialogue system for Nexus Necronomicon present, but basically we'll dive straight into the script itself, and I'll talk about how it functions. This script itself is based on another script I found that I've tweaked basically as it's gone on. So this is not all my original code. That's usually the best way to learn, is to find a solution that someone's developed and to add the functionality you require onto the script yourself. Basically. So I'll just zoom this in a bit so we can have a look at the. Come on. Sorry, I just have to work out why is this not zooming in? Come on. I'll just do it. There we go. So that should be a bit bigger on the screen now. Hopefully you can see it. So the script that I'm using for the pathing it's called camera pathing. That's what I've called it. And we add an entity called path route, which is where we'll add the steps. Or if you want the path that the script will basically, the camera will pan along that path that's given under the entities underneath path route. Duration, of course, is the length of time for it's a number of type number, how long. I think it's the transition between each. It's got a start time here. It's another attribute we add. So it starts at 0. Okay, so initially we're going to run the create path function, which is just here. So you can see the create path function is here, and we initialize the function itself, and we just call that function there. So this create path is calling this function here. Okay, And like I said, this is code I've found on PlayCanvas, and that's what it's all about, really. If there's an existing solution that someone's developed, there's no shame in utilizing that and modifying it for your own ends. That's how code is done. That's how you learn code, is by looking at other people's code, modifying it and tweaking it where you need to. But yeah, basically that. So there's there's a reference to the original. Just get that. I'll just show you quickly. That's where I got the original code from for this, I believe. I think. Actually, yeah. So I think this is it. Well, I can't remember. I'll link it below anyway. I don't want to. I want to give the original author obviously some credit. So we've got some time stuff going on here. Time, blah, blah, blah. And essentially, we're adding the DT. This is the update function. So the update function, I'll just quickly describe what that means. That's basically explained there. So basically, this code is called every single frame of. Let's go on. Essentially, every single second, this code is called basically, and essentially the update function in PlayCanvas is usually used to check for changes. It's something you need to check every single second. So check if there's an update happening in the scene. Basically, is what's going on there. So the time obviously is going up, and that's being used there as if the time is more than the duration. So where it says if this time is more than this duration, which is the attribute we've declared above, then this time minus this duration. Basically, if so this is just a way of working out how far we are along in time, how long it's progressed along the path. And this is essentially working out some vector values based on it. So like essentially this is working out where exactly basically it's working out mathematically the curve values for all that. That was a terrible explanation, but basically the okay. Sorry, I'm being a bit unconfident there, but basically, and like I said, this isn't my code, so I'm not exactly sure of all the details. I could go further into, well, another video I'll probably go into the dialoguing system, how I'm approaching that actually. I might do that in this minute actually, because that's sort of coming along, but it's not finished yet. And that's mostly my own code, but anyway. So we've got, this is to do with curve. I'm not exactly sure the function of curve that much. But you could probably definitely look into that if you want. I've got a for loop here. So the nodes are the actual entity. I'll show you in the actual canvas, the PlayCanvas scene itself. You basically have the entity for the path, and then you have the steps in between. So imagine if the main entity, path entity, and then you have sub nodes up below it, which basically create the track for the camera. And you can get really creative with that. It's really fun, actually. So, obviously this is a lot of code. I'm not going to over-explain it. I'm just going to show you in here. I just need to zoom out again because I'm way zoomed in. Ding, 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 ding. Ding. So the pathing, we put it underneath the camera. So the camera is here. We'll just zoom into the scene itself. So this is the scene I've constructed, obviously before. It's taken a lot of work actually, put a lot of effort into that. We've got the cameras. We have a script here which is, I've called it 0, and yeah, so basically we had a camera, obviously, we need a camera there for that to work, and you can give that any settings you want. It's just a perspective camera here, and it's a pretty standard camera. And then I've added the camera script here, which is what we're just looking at. The path route is this entity here, like I said before. So you select that, that's the attribute that we're adding. You want a duration of 80, so we're overriding the generic default of 10. So it's 80 seconds as opposed to 10 seconds. Because Well, let me show you. If I change this to 10, you'll see what happens. Basically, it'll just go really fast. So if I launch this now, the actual path process itself will take 80 seconds, and it'll just be very fast. So once this loads up, you'll see that it just, yeah, you see it's moving now a lot faster. It doesn't quite look as cinematic, and there's not enough time for the actual dialogue really to work properly. Because again, I'm working on the timings for that at the minute. So I'll change that back to 80, just check. And then, but basically, if you can speed up, slow down the duration of the path. Now, you add a path entity here, so obviously underneath the camera, so you'd go new entity, then you'd add path, and then you have the different. I think the naming is important, so you put like path 1, path 2. Yeah, it's important. So path 1, path 2. So for example, so you'll see that the path is basically from up here to down here, and this can be quite cool. Like I said, I mean, obviously when you're doing your own pathing scenes, you have to establish exactly how you want to do it and all that sort of thing. This is one example of where I've utilised the script. I'll show you another one. I think probably main sound. This is a little bit more visually probably experimental actually, but you'll see how I've done the exact same thing. So we've got cams, then you've got camera again, and then we have path. Is smaller duration this time, and then I have the path. But this has got a few more paths. So for example, I'll show you the scene first, and I'll just be quiet for this because otherwise it's going to lose a bit of, you don't want to hear me talking over it. Yeah, so you can see there's actually, so you can add as many path points as you want basically. So if I go here, you can see we've got the main path entity, which is just attached to the root, and then I've just positioned it wherever I wanted to position it. And then we have path 1, which is up here, so, and then path 2, and then you can sort of see that, I mean, you obviously have to tweak this as you go along, path 3, and you can see how that follows the path that the camera followed. So that's probably all I need to go into for this specific example. I will provide a link to a version of the script. Like I said, this is an open. Where I got this from is an open shared script, so it's fine for me to share it. I'm pretty sure. I also use this script in my. So if you want another one to look at, night day scene timer is also utilizes the script. This is where I first used it, in fact. So this is basically a day-night cycle, and this is where I first utilized the version of the script. So we go here, camera path, and there you go. It's the same. It's basically it's exactly the same script. And I'll just give you a quick example of this because this has literally been released. Something I released as a community project that anybody can use. It's a night day, so it's got a timer. Again, we can see the pathing system in use, except the fact that this switches between day and night. So you see the timer's remaining now. It's like a few seconds, and then whoop, it gets to night, and it loops around and around and around. So yeah, that's probably that. Like I said, I'll provide a link to this project, which is completely open and anybody can access. And if you really want access to the camera pathing script, then you can do that via this project. And so day-night cycle, and then just look for camera path. And if you want to, if you want, you can also look into the timer stuff, but it's pretty self-explanatory in a lot of ways. Actually, these are redundant. I could get rid of them actually, but yeah. So yeah, that's that really. I've been Noir Nerd. Like and subscribe if you like. If this has been useful today and I've provided you with some help along the way, finding your way of PlayCanvas and implementing the functionality of camera pathing. Yeah, like and subscribe. I'm going to post as much as I can. I'm working 2 jobs at the minute. One dev job doing PlayCanvas work at the minute, and also community. I do community management for a game, Occupy White Walls and Cultura. But anyway, I'll leave it at that. Not here to tell you too much about my jobs. I hope it's been useful in some way, and yeah, have a good one.